Hello and welcome back to Esoteric Ebb. Now, we need to still find a couple of things, like a scroll for Viskin, so he can get us into the pillar. Plus, we're also looking for the Lost 6th edition, I think it's called. I just looked at it. Yeah, the Lost 6th edition. All of which should be somewhere underground. So, I'm just gonna start this off by running around a bit and seeing what I can find. And whenever I find something of interest, I'm just gonna cut back to it. So, I'll see you then. What's this? All the crystals are glowing. Okay. You approach the magic circle. Chamber of the guests. Each of the 4 stones around it are glowing. The goblin looks around. Looks clear, I think. Isk Urum. It is broken. The seal is unleashed. Watch the light rapidly expand. Okay. Oh. Hello there. It's, Snail. Snail takes a few more steps back. Uh-huh. Hello up there? Then you watch as the snail folk of a bygone era slams into the ground. Stare at it. You watch the creature shake and snivel, its flabby skin moving about freely, its glistening surface reflecting the light. Look at the shell. It is covered in trinkets, books, vials, and all manner of esotericals. There is no doubt. This is a wizard of the highest degree. Look at the staff. It gives off a faint glow in the dark of the temple. A Gate-era artifact. Holy shit, that stick would go for a fortune on the market. Could you imagine? Pristine staff of great power, left in stasis for millennia. What a payday. Prepare to approach the strange snail. Okay. Let's behold it. They shine. Oh, we can't regularly behold? I'm not gonna just steal it. Maybe we can ask it for it. The snail lifts his head. Flop. Excuse me, or shake your head and gesture towards the towards your ears. Inte forsta no comprendo. No, I'm just gonna say excuse me. The snail holds up his open hand, 4 fingers stretched out. Then he twists them with a snap. There we go. I should be better. Always keep a tongue prepared for this specific situation. Nothing as awkward as dealing with foreign, dignitaries when you've run out of jaw slots. I am Isk Urum, cord puller of the Tulan Empire, the master of the path, servant of Jaw, lord researcher, and diplomat of peace. He lowers his soft head all the way to the ground. I am Ran. Greetings. By Jaw, do not worry, Mr. Ran Cleric. I am not poisonous, nor do I hold any ill will. You did not mention that. How is... Apologies, I cannot help it. What? The snail is inside you. That's not the kind of phrasing I'd use, but yes. Snail squints and stares at you both. Hold on, is this some kind of wizard thing? Green one, you do not appear to be as loud on the strings as your iron friend here. The snail leans upon his staff. I cannot help but hear everything you think, Cleric. It was Cleric, was it not? Now, what a fascinating meeting we have here. The snail man looks around, leaning on his staff. My mind seems to have slipped a bit. You couldn't care for some exposition? Be careful what you think. He'll hear it. He hears this right now. What's the last thing you remember? His eyes retract close to the base as he mutters. Oh no. I was on trial. For what? I doomed us all to the flame of Esoth. It was entirely my fault. What did you do? I made a deal with the Red One. He mutters to himself, trying to remember. It is difficult to read his body language for obvious reasons. However, you get the feeling that he recalls more. He grows, as he recalls more, he grows more shaken. Esoth, the great dragon of Tuilan, our band. I was the diplomat who enacted the plan for peace. We invited the dragon for an exchange of knowledge. Truth is, I was greedy. I wanted those strange draconic techniques. The power words. I was not alone in my hubris, nor did I set this plan in motion myself. But it was me who put it in motion. What happened? Please stop. That's fun. Now you can annoy someone with your mind. Sorry. The snail man looks pointedly around the room. Or at least you think he does. It's more of a gurgling sound. I am personally responsible for the deaths of approximately 50,000 to 100,000 of my kin. Stare at him. Esoth went back on his word. He used his unorthodox magic to disrupt our many mages. Then he burned the entire city. The towers fell, the screams, the heat. So, like, the thing that ruined all the... The goblin also stares at the snail man. How did you survive? Oh, the same way the rest did. We were, as they say, lucky. We were not close enough to his anti-magic, and I could resist his stunning shriek. We fled downwards. As Esoth claimed our city as his new throne, we fled even deeper. A few thousand of us, the ones who remained, we hid in... He taps his staff onto the tiles. This place, it is where we kept our foulest prisoners. It became a base in which we organized resistance. Although some were not so keen to work with someone like me, a traitor. How long were you down here? Months. It did not take long for a divide to build. What did you do here? Debate, mostly. One camp were for leaving entirely. Other wanted to return to Jor for guidance. I ended up wanting to leave with my wonderful Tut. Tut? Tut? He shakes his head. Sorry, no, The voice who won in the end, they sought a more permanent solution to the dragon fire. Through primal pagan magic. I did not believe in that for a second. They imprisoned you for inviting the dragon? That, among other things. I was never the most liked snail on the coast, but they wanted an offering, someone to pin blame. He grows silent, his eyes shiver. The snail begins to think about things he does not want to think about. This poor snail. He knows what he must face now. Failure. I believe you have been imprisoned here for a very long time. How long? His eyes retract, as if he does not want an answer to this question. When were you imprisoned? I'm assuming an era of dragons occurred after our reign. However, we ruled in the aftermath of the shuttering of the gates. It had been 211 years since then, the year when our city burned. During the Fade era then, not very long after the gates had shut. That is exactly 1016 years ago. He grips his staff, you can hear it creak. Millennia? I was in stasis for millennia? I am sorry. Yes. Yes, it is. Good gods. His eyes shoot out, aiming around the room. He is alone. His entire folk type has been wiped from the map before humans even held their own kingdoms. I am Alone. There is no one, is there? He shakes his staff, and his dark eyes wiggle around the air. A faint glow appears as he mutters a few words to himself. I see. Snails, yes, but, are you scrying? No, no. Is this what you made of yourselves? He stops casting the spell, his head falling towards the ground. Go, Rema, you fool! You led them into this primal state? Degenerative, frozen, monstrous beasts. Hail snails! Oh. He lets out a mad laugh. They wanted to use the primal cold to break the dragon's fire. That bastard. He led them into pure de-evolution. It is a nightmare. Oh, by Joe's grace. Tell me, how did you break this stasis I was in? Thank it, you cleric. Imagine it in your head, now, please. Think about your talk at the Iron Door. Tut Irma. She was in an iron door. They threw her in an iron door for millennia. His eyes droop down towards the ground. I cannot believe it. My actions caused... I ruined my people. I brought flames. I divided them. Yet in the end, I did not even pay for my crimes with my life. Instead, I pay by standing here, alone among the ashes. Aye, Iskani. And Tot. She endured the most torturous existence known to sentience, her soul slowly withering inside that hellish prison. Yet, after all that, in the end she... Stay quiet. He lets out a grunt, then a painful howl. Then he roars, a deep, bubbling scream, causing his glistering flesh to vibrate. Stare at the snail. When he stops, he takes his staff and slams it into the ground. I reject this string. Joe's words do not speak of a humble nature. He broke off this world to make his own path. I will do exactly the same. What are you talking about? He lets out a gust of wind. I can fix this. What? Yeah, what? Fix what? My dear Tut was destroyed by an iron prison. That leaves her soul in pieces. Not quite dead, not quite in existence. But I am cord puller Isk Urim. I wield strings like Jor himself. From this day on, I no longer seek power, nor achieve greatness. Nor will I build empires. I will only perform one miracle. I will resurrect her. Then I will pay her back 1,000-fold for her unyielding love and devotion. What kind of resurrection? True resurrection. Not easy. Especially when the strings are this weak. An ebb, surely. What? Can you tell me more about? Yes. Anything you need. I'm in your debt as well, of course. He mutters to himself and leans on his staff. I now have a time limit, cleric. In 200 years, the fragments of my wife's soul will leave this plane forever. Thus, I can no longer resurrect her. And it will take time, but it can be done. Anything can be done. He is coping, but not in a terribly destructive way. Fuck yes. You need anything, just let me know. Thank you, my green friend. Do you know how to enter the pillar? Oh, you wish to enter a closed gate? That is bold. I need to follow a rogue spellcaster inside. Suspected rogue spellcaster. I probably should not mention the rogue spellcaster, right? Wait, damn it, he's hearing this right now, isn't he? Shit, I'm just gonna say it. The snail stares at you. I heard nothing. But if you need to enter a closed gate, that is no small feat, of course. But it's possible? Very much so. What lies beyond is not so much a mystery as it is a question of shape. Tunnels, paths, cracks in the veil around Joe's realm. To enter is as simple as either having a key, a blessed passing, or forcing your way with a powerful spell. Gate, astral projection, wish. They can all break through. Of course, with the current state of things, here in your time, it is clear all such methods would be difficult. Very difficult. You require assistance from creatures who have studied who have studied or understand its current shape. Have any in mind? He lowers his head. Tut was a genius on planar travel. She could have helped you. You made him sad again. That's sad. Just stare at him. He glares at you with one eye as the other falls upon his staff. You have made a great friend in me, cleric. That will be rewarded. Oh, staff of strings. A staff of strings. The staff. Grip it. You hold it out, feeling the power surge through the rough wood. I call it Merivesh, staff of strings. You may call it the staff. You may call it staff of Tulinkatl, as remembrance of my fallen people. It will be returned to me once you are finished with all this. The crystal at the top lights up as he speaks. It is now attuned to you. If you wield it while dealing with this gate, it will grant you assistance, information, attunement, so on. My wife's research can be found within its core. I will help you, I'm sure. Thank you, Aunt Tut. As for who you should speak with, I have no idea. But unless you want to write a contract with some powerful devil or serve a far realm monster, you might not have too many good options. The only creature I knew beyond my people who understood the mechanism of the gate was the Gate Guardian herself, but she was ancient by the time I reached adulthood, so I would not count on her still being around. Gate Guardian, are you talking about the Sphinx? Excuse me? Ulzis, the Sphinx. She's still around? Yeah, so you know her? The snail leans back, still reeling over this information. You keep shocking this poor man. I'll have to visit. So she's still in the lair? It's a tavern now, called the Drunk Sphinx. This is a strange era you've built for yourselves. I can't say I dislike it. In any case, I highly recommend you go speak with Ulzis. Unless you've made a fool of yourself before her, she might be inclined to help you into the Great Gate. Flashback to when you spoke with Ulzis last. Oh, Jor. I'm sure with Merivesh, it will be fine. And if not, then maybe there's some other dark and oppressive magical creature you can persuade. Like that aberration called Everglad that lives in these tunnels, I assume? Huh. He looks around. I should probably leave her soon if things like that have taken hold. Do you have any questions, about all the stuff you've missed? A couple of thousand of them, yes. I will also, of course, dive into whatever libraries you have available for information soon enough. You do still have libraries, I hope. We have the Darovian library, just south of here. I can get you access if you've put in an application. I've seen books all over the place. You can always just go around and ask to check them out. I'll talk about the library. Oh, grand, please do. Is that your local government, Darrow? Technically speaking. I see. Also, I need to ask, what is this south? South? Yes, south is south. Ah, this must be some common knowledge. Please elaborate. It's a direction, downwards on the map. Interesting. Do you not use inwards and outwards? With and against? The scholarly version is seaward and inland, which one's forward in your case? With is when you move along the coast, with the movement of the sun. Against is against the sun's movement. Ah, we use west for with then, and east for against. I see. Do you know the etymological origin of those words? I find your use of them quite fascinating, especially the fact my tongue spell does not localize them. Well, that's a failure. Imagine a map. Interesting. That you base your directions on a map is very interesting from our way of navigation. Later, I will very much love to pore over your findings and documents, especially those maps. I've seen books all over the place. Always you always just go around and ask to check them out. Interesting. So your people are very open-minded then. Imagine the snail talking to Viscount. I mean, I could see it. That pale man looks like an interesting spellcaster. We will see how they react. Is your people anti-snail? I suppose they haven't been given the chance to be anti-snail. I suppose. Think about what Norvik looks like these days. He nods and his eyes jut out. Interesting. I'm looking forward to navigating your society. So, what do you want to ask? He lets out a bubbling noise. Timeline. I can see images of your current world in your mind. Your city, called Norvik. You live upon the ruins of my people's creations. Very interesting. But I am interested in how you got there. You appear to be human, yes? I remember the dragons of the east bringing your people to the coast as servants, slaves rather. When did you break your chains? It was during the Fade era. Humans broke free alongside many others as the big ones fell. It was... I see. I am both relieved and extremely happy to hear of their demise. You're welcome. But I must ask, whatever happened to Isoth? His downfall must have been at the hands of some great warrior. Oh, I know that one. It's a children's story. Oh. The Little and the Large. Think about the tale. A gnome befriended the Mist Titan of Ascani, and together they defeated the Great Red Dragon. Abacus the Half-Wit and Ka-Imor, the greatest of friends. You're kidding! By George, that is very good. Very, very good. An iconic end to such a horrid beast. Defeated by friendship, he lets out a bubbling laugh. May his bones be cursed forever. Many gods were born in the next era, the Divine Era. Hold on, let's see. The snail retracts his eyes and goes quiet for a while as he listens to your thoughts. Do go on. The Fade Era, after the Gate Era, lasted about 1,000 years. Ah, you're at the start of a new era, then. What do you call it? The Post-War Era. Oh, the Arcane Era brought with it a most foul war, then. I could only imagine. Myself, I too, was born in a time after war, the Gate War, but my father saw the end of it in his youth. I will make sure to read about it more. But what caused this great war? Humans, we became great wizards, arcanists, and destroyed each other, as well as almost the entire coast. Yes, I can see that. I can similarly not in any way tell you the real reason behind the Gate War. But since it's closer in the timeline, if I may ask, how did your Coast War end? Free Striders, an ideology of meritocratic and democratic heroes, eventually felled the Arcanists. Today, they are the most powerful force on the coast. The Arcanists destroyed each other and ruined large portions of their band in the process. The Arcanists were simply too powerful, the game was rigged against them, and thus they lost. Magic stopped being as potent. They tried to keep it a secret, but eventually they simply could not support their empires. Or it's complicated. I guess I'll go with that one. Fascinating. It's understandable that there is no clear answer to such a complex conflict. As per usual, the victor will write the notes on history, however, so I will be sure to read with critical stalk. Stalk? Eyes. Ah, eye stalk. And your people then, they fled the Arcanists during the war? I seem to get that impression from the images I keep seeing. Okay, what exactly can you see out of my thoughts? I hope you can't see me without the helm. Try your best not to imagine yourself without the helm. Or I hope you can't see me naked. What exactly can you see out of my thoughts? Voices, images. Nothing too personal so far, thank Jor. Some some esoterically attuned people cannot help themselves. It's honestly quite dangerous at times. My old rival used to run into my laboratory and think very loud and grimy things. The most heinous scenarios you can imagine. What an asshole? You're quite the frayed fellow, aren't you? Yes I am, no I am not, you're forked. What would be too personal? Like me naked or let your mind drift? Yes I am. His eye stalks glare at you in silence. Case in point. So you're a wizard? Yes, I'm a learned toolin of the path of Jor. String master, string player, chord puller extraordinaire. I might have missed a few errors, but I assure you, we had reality warping powers in our times. By Jor, I sure sound like an old-timer. I heard that. Sorry. No worries, it's true. His eye stalks retract. What spell level can you cast? 9th, by regular limits. I had the ability to wield a 10th level spell at one point, although it was, of course, a weak 10th level spell. I called it Isk Urum's Epic Traversal. It's basically, it basically targeted a road, up to 100 miles of it, repaired any cracks, making the journey smooth and wonderful, and generally increasing your movement speed by up to double. Useful. Not more than that. Useful, yes. As you could imagine, we kept to the more grounded magics for anything above 9th. The actual world-changing spells would simply get you popped out of existence. Popped out of existence? Yes. I named it Esoteric Events. They apparently began during the Gate War, but grew worse during my lifetime. Irresponsible usage of magic could easily cause them to appear. Some called it wild magic, some called it Jor's Curse. Yeah, we have those all the time. Oh, do you now? I suppose the tongue spell translated it properly then. What 9th level can you cast? Nothing currently. When I was cast into stasis, Gurema made sure to place an ebbing seal on me. That is a curse essentially. Makes me unable to cast anything above, in this case, 3rd level spells. So currently I'm not so powerful at all. But do not fret. It will fade in time, hopefully as the ley lines grow stronger all around. This ebb. I'm a wizard too. Are you now? Good to hear. It does make sense. Someone with a head so attuned to the stirrings is usually either dipped in a soul river at birth, or a powerful mage of some type. Or a crazy person. Maybe I'm all three. Wonderful. I was hoping this era of yours was acclimated for magic use as well, despite the past. Are all snail folk wizards? Oh no, but many, yes. The Tulin are naturally acclimated to string manipulation. It's from a gift we were granted by Jor as we arrived on the Great Whale's back. Great Whale. Great Whale, there we go. Great Whale, the mythical first creature Jor invited to join him on his newly created realm. That's all I have to ask about wizards for now. I can see that. How wonderful to share. Can you teach me magic? Oh, teaching, that is not my specialty. If you have any questions, I can always share my knowledge, but beyond that, I'm afraid I can only offer some spell scrolls.